Hey there, everybody. And most of you may know that this is the moon. Y'all know that this is the moon, but this is the Pangaea selenographic map. And Vibes of Cosmos has done a fantastic job here. He's going to transform this map into the geopolitical map of our world. And what's been said is that the moon is giving a reflection of our Earth down here. And he has brought that forward in many different ways. This is the geopolitical map of the Earth. Obviously, it's not a similar shape to the Earth that you and I are used to. Nonetheless, he has done this map with flight routes, shipping lanes, time zones, flight times, and we are looking at a landmass, land beyond our borders that we're not sure about. Now, here we go. Bringing the geopolitical map and placing it over the Pangaea selenographic map, we can show you every country in the world. On the moon. There are lands in these oceans that it is being claimed that they're showing up on this map. They don't show up on any of our maps down here. So we are to believe that there is no land out there in the middle of the oceans just because the maps they show us don't show them to us. But then about 3 or 4 months ago, the Japanese come out and said that they just found 7,200 new islands. What? How come International Space Station hasn't shown us those things? All the satellites that are supposed to be zooming around the Earth, they never saw them before. And suddenly, a couple of months ago, Japan finds 7,200 islands. We don't know what's going on. The map of the world that they give us on this football that they say that we're living on, cannonball, on a ball fired out of a cannon by space terrorists 13.7 billion years ago. They want us to believe that that's what we are the result of. So I don't know, is this a current reflection of our current Earth, or is this a reflection of our Earth from 1609 when some type of flash happened, like a flash photograph, and left a photo negative in the sky of our Earth at that particular time when those land masses did exist? Or is it current and those land masses are out there and they're not telling us anything about them? Okay? Because when you take a look at the moon, it looks like it's potted with craters, but we'll get around to that. So what do you think? Now, I'm sure many of my subscribers are aware of Vibes of Cosmos and this Pangaea selenographic map, but the lands that are beyond our barriers are showing up, and he is naming them. Well, we're going to get into this here now a little bit deeper, because there's more to this than just this, than what he's just showing us. World political map, there you go. Distances, the lot. So I'm going to move on to another. Yeah, so let's have a look at it in another way. Okay, so it is a light in the sky, a light source, a guide, a cold light. And when we get into the dimming process that takes place here, it starts to show us some things that are much, much different. Now, of course, a lot of people think that the moon... Now, pay particular attention to this so-called crater down here. Notice that every crater hit the moon at a 90-degree angle. Absolutely none of them hit it at an angle and left an oval or an oblong crater. But then there are people out there that still believe it's made like was covered in grey cement dust. Now here we are, the dimming of the light. We're supposed to believe that it's 237,000 miles away. Oh, because we fired a laser at it and went, what laser light can travel 237,000 miles there and back? Now, as the light gets played with in this moon, and we go so dark as to block out the Pangaea selenographic map that we can see of our Earth, the next thing that they are going to show us is the cosmos. The cosmos is hiding within the moon when you dim its lights. So, you say, oh, we went to the moon, and the people believe they went to the moon and they came back. And the moon is very bright. At night, you can go outside and you can read a book in the dark. And you have to bring up the inverse square law of light. The cosmos is appearing. Because the inverse square law of light, if you halve your distance to a light, it gets 4 times brighter. If you double your distance away from a light, it gets 4 times dimmer. It's not debatable. It's laws of physics. Inverse square law of light. So you travel halfway to the moon, gets 4 times brighter. Halfway again, 4 times brighter again. Keep going, halfway again, 4 times brighter again. Go halfway again, 4 times brighter again. Keeps doing that and it keeps doing that until when you are about 100 odd miles from the moon, it would be so bright. It would be thousands of times brighter than the sun. The retinas in your eyes would shoot out through your asshole all the way back to Earth and be waiting for you there when you got back. Now look, here we go. Here's the cosmos. Virgo, Cancer, Leo, Pisces, Gemini, Taurus. They're all in there. So what are we looking at? This isn't a reflection that we see generally when we look at the moon. We see a reflection of our world. So when we look up at the moon, we're looking at a reflection of our world. Then those inhabitants of the heavens above that live above the firmament, above the plasmaspheric hiss, when they look at this moon, do they see a map of their world? Because when we darken it, we can see a map of their world. Is the moon a two-way scope? So, can you see it all in there? Yeah? I mean, now that we know that it's grey cement dust, and the Indians and the Chinese have gone up there, maybe they could bring a load of Sahara sand with them, because the Indians said, oh, we found water. All you need is a fucking cement mixer. Yeah, you can fix the fucking place. What? The shit that they come out with is just beyond. Does not have any connection to common sense whatsoever. Now, retired Space Force Lieutenant General Stephen Quast has said that the Chinese are on the far side of the moon, mining. And where is it? What did he say? He said it's on a continent 3 times the size of Africa, south of the fucking South Pole. So we go into our Pangaea selenographic map and we start going around, down around, outside, south of the South Pole. And what are we going to come across? We are going to come across large continents. Maybe this one is 3 times the size of Africa, or this one. So here we are now. We are going to take a look at the craters and what they represent. Now there are our star signs, sun signs, astrological sun signs, all of them, all round. Now, this point here, right here, is that circle that we are looking on the moon. And it is a representation of the astrological signs of the sun. You've got all of them there, all coming out from this one particular point that we look up at the moon and they tell us is this big massive crater. No, 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 no. It's much, much more than that. And there's the point. Yeah. So we've been conned. We've been sold a moon. We have paid for the moon. Yeah. $80 million a day they're giving these idiots in NASA. Tens of millions of dollars from poor Indian people who cannot keep their farms alive and cannot keep their crops in their fields without people coming along and trying to rob them. And they're spending billions flying fucking 1980s Nintendo machines to the fucking moon when we know what they're up to. The moon is not what they're telling us what it is. It's much, much more complex. A light in the sky is what I know what it is. It's a light in the sky. But it's more now than a light in the sky. It's alive. It's intelligently designed. It's here to tell us that we are real, not fake. Not the result of an explosion. Bring this to your science professor. Professor, have a look at this moon here. Yeah, you're going to close the school down. All of this closes down every school, every university in the world. What this does is this gets your books, tear them up and throw them in the bin. And that's what we got to do. We got to blow them all out of the water. This is all far too hard to read. The writing is far too small. But it's, what is the moon? It's a looking glass, a spy hole, a two-way scope, a matrix code, a storage of information. Did old navigators of old know anything about all of this? This is going to end now. I hope you enjoyed this little presentation. Something fishy going on in the sky. Now you'll all be out tonight looking at this, yeah? It ain't what they tell you what it is. It ain't a solid object in the sky. It ain't 237,000 miles away. There's no way to say that. All their numbers when it comes to the sky are wrong. Sun, 93 million miles away, easily provable not. Stars, trillions of light years away, easily provable not. Moon, 237,000 miles away. How do you know? Lasers don't travel that far. Yeah, well, look, I could go on for months. I'm going to leave it at that there. That's it, people. What do you think of that? Sweet dreams.